Hi Leo and Leo Rising, welcome to your January 2016 reading. I had to re-record the beginning because after doing 24 videos I said the wrong date. So now into the rest of the video. Thank you. Really excited to see what the cards have in store for you for this first month and also for the beginning of the year. I will be offering a year at a glance reading, and that's going to be separate. So just check out my channel page and there'll be a link there. I'll also try to put it in the caption area beneath the photo for this. For this January reading, I'm going to continue with what I did last month, which is having one channeled card from Spirit using the Catalyst and, of course, the Health, Wealth, Love, and Destiny. That gives me a chance to sort of hit on the major areas that most people are interested in. And just as a reminder, this is a general reading, so if you need more than that, there's always an opportunity to contact me, and I'll talk about that at the end. So let's go straight into it. Your channeled word or your channeled message is to create. It wasn't creativity, it was actually a verb. And I try to keep most of these words, verbs, actionable type things for you. So when I was shuffling our deck for this month, I kept thinking create, create, create. So what your challenge will be is to take an active role in your life this month. And if you're looking for something that doesn't exist, you're actually going to have to be the agent of that change, of that, of basically that manifestation. It's not going to come to you. So this is more of an active month, less of a passive month. So I could have put receive, which still would be an action verb, but it would be something that's more passive. For you, I see you're going to have to create opportunities, create bonds in relationships, maybe create the opportunity for money to come in, but basically think about what you lack and start to create that in your life, okay? So that's your channeled word. Now let's take a look at the catalyst. So if this is sort of your, if this is what you need to get or sort of accomplish, this is the how. This is the key in the ignition. This is how all of the other cards are going to relate together. So what I see here is clarity, or it says clarity or belief. I still see this as sort of an extension of this creation card here, or this create card, because you'll see this, the clearer your own thoughts are on what it is that you're looking for, the easier it's going to be for you to accomplish it. So step one, as New Year's sort of comes around, is to sit quietly and really reflect on what it is you want to accomplish for this upcoming year. And the clearer that view, the quicker it's going to actually start to happen. As I'm looking at this illustration, I really do want you to work with passion on this. So a lot of times we end up getting stuck in paths because our parents push us into it, our significant other pushes us into it, or we just don't know what else to do. So I want you to, a lot of times if I have a one-on-one with somebody, I'll ask them, if you could do anything in the world, what would it be? What is it that you really want to do? And I would say like over half, maybe even 75% of the time, people aren't used to hearing that question. They'll say, I don't know. So think about it and think about what it is that you want to, when your life is said and done at the end of days, what do you want to be known for? What is it that you're going to create? It could be a family. It could be a difference in the world, maybe politically, maybe you're going to come up with some new sort of product, innovation, a new idea that could change the world. Whatever it is, you should be very, very passionate about it, and you should have a clear idea of what you want, so that every day can be a step towards that. Then your life becomes so much more powerful and impactful. And again, it can be anything large to small. You just have to have something that you really are passionate about, I think, every day. And once you accomplish something, you move on to the next thing. It's what keeps us going, right? All right, so now let's take a look at January overall and the general energy that's going to be coming through. Change, change, change is what I see on the horizon for you this month. Okay, so Your central card is Page of Swords, and the interesting thing is I've seen this for a few signs around the center or playing a central role. Pages are all about delivery and the beginning of an execution, and I was just telling you that you needed to know what you wanted to do and to start to do it. So this card is really supporting that, and given that it's sort of a steampunk design here, you'll see there's an air balloon behind here, which is telling me that there's a lot of an ability for these things to really take off. So don't delay. And actually, this person, I feel like, has a lot of confidence that they're not necessarily pushing through. So I would say don't be afraid to be outspoken if you really have something that you've been waiting to do and you haven't had a chance to do it. And if you haven't, like I said, you got to do the homework. One thing that I don't want you to do is to start to stress out, freak out about all the steps that are going to be involved for you needing to kind of get to that next step. So I see it being generally good. Your idea, what you can accomplish. Let's just kind of push this away for people that are happy in their lives and don't feel like they need to make a change. What I would say is don't get complacent. For people that aren't working and might be doing another sort of support role, maybe you're a father, maybe you're a mother, maybe you're retired. What this is saying is you need to start taking other sorts of actions in your life. It's not just about, this is not a month to be passive. Let's just put it that way. So maybe it's just about getting outside, walking more, starting to talk to people more, but I want you to come out of your shell a little bit and start to engage in interactions with people, communications, listening and talking. It's really important for you this month. Supported by the Three of Cups. I feel like you already have been making some strides in this area, but I need you to make a few more. And this card is really about allowing yourself to just have fun and allow these conversations to happen organically. Sometimes networking, it doesn't seem like it's worthwhile, but it does pay off in the long run. This is something that 2 to 3 months down the road will make a lot more sense. Four of Cups is what's affecting you as you're starting to start January. And you'll see this is actually a great illustration of the Four of Cups. It's somebody here who is unwilling, unready to look at the opportunities ahead of them because they're either stuck in the past or they can't see an opportunity. And interesting that there is a skull here. I see this as something for you guys, some of you that you may have let go of, or that there was a dead end that sort of happened. The reason I say that, if I pull this down so you can see, you're facing in the next 2 to 3 months a major shift. It's one that you see coming. This Death card is one where you've seen the warning signs. For those of you at work, it could mean restructuring. Usually Death reversed is not as absolute as Death upright. For relationships, you might have seen signs of somebody starting to move in a new direction, because this is more of a relationship Death card than others. But it's okay. The overall movement on this is going to be clearing. So I don't see it happening in January necessarily, but I see it happening in the months following January. What's good overall, though, your crowning energy is the sun. It's the sun reversed. So I would say I want you to focus on the positive aspects of the change that might be happening, and also just all the blessings that you have in your life. Because with the Four of Cups and the sun, what's happening here is I see you missing some of the positivity. Take a step back, realize how far you've come, look at all of the good things that are kind of going on in your life, and realize that you are blessed. Allow this change to happen. Let's take a clarifying card here and see what Death is bringing here. For some of you, it's a stubbornness that you're letting go of. The Hierophant is about being tied to beliefs or a belief system. For others, I do feel like this has sort of like a work vibe, a corporate vibe. It could be, again, restructuring, a change of management happening. And I feel like you have to really let your own heart be the compass here. And I actually really like this Ace of Cups illustration. If you are not happy, fly away, be free. If you are happy or satisfied, just be sure that you're taking care of yourself in this situation too, because I see some of what's going on might be some strong personalities that may not have your own best interest at heart. Death is there for a reason, and it's giving you an opportunity to walk away or maybe be ejected from a situation that's no longer serving your highest good. For those of you where this does sort of resonate in a work environment, this is your chance to make a decision. Sometimes the Seven of Cups feels like a daydream card. Sometimes it feels like an opportunity card. With it reversed, I feel like, again, it's a missed opportunity. So think before maybe some of these changes happen. If it's a relationship, you don't have to wait for it to unravel. You can either come straight out and talk to the person about your concerns in a constructive way, or if it's a work situation, you could just take a bold move and start looking for other employment elsewhere, or have a candid conversation with your boss or manager and just talk about future development, etc. And in life in general, this is also part of this sort of create card that I pulled up earlier, and the clarity. I feel like you need to focus and you need to be much clearer than you are right now on what it is you want. It doesn't have to just be career. It can be love, it can be opportunities, but I would say now is not the time to daydream. Now is the time to clarify and look at one or two items that are actionable and start working on them. Once you do that, you're going to see tangible results quickly within 2 to 3 months. That death card can also indicate clearing the way for really rapid growth. Think of like a forest fire. It clears all of the garbage, all the old trees, and suddenly wildflowers and also new trees start to grow from that. Sometimes certain seeds require fire to sort of germinate or be able to be given life. So allow the destruction to clear for you rather than feel like the end of the world. Hopes and fears, desired action. I want you to continue saving and know, like, for those of you that are looking for a shift in career, make sure you have that 9-month emergency plan in place so that you have enough to keep you afloat. For those of you that are doing well and have no fear, continue to just sort of celebrate your good financial decisions. The 9 of Pentacles shows me a lot of work. It's beyond just paying off debts. It's actually working on savings. It's a card of comfort. So I want you to either continue to protect that comfort or continue working towards it. For those of you that feel like you're more in the 2 of Pentacles zone where you're balancing, or the 7 Pentacles where you're paying down, I see you heading towards this. So don't lose sight of the possibilities. Now, your final card is the 5 of Pentacles. So the reason I'm harping on that many of you need to keep this reserve and respect the reserve is you might be asked, and I think this is happening mid-year for you, maybe before June, maybe more like May. This will be an opportunity where you might need to pull some at those reserves. If you don't have them, don't panic. You'll find a way to work through it, but it'll be a good time for you to have a little extra savings. There could be an unexpected bill. I see this coming down the road. There may also be a tiny shift towards the end of the month. Now, for some of you, it may not be tiny if this death card is actually saying you need to shift out of a job or there's restructuring. For those of you that are doing that, I'm going to pull an extra card for the next month so that you know what's coming through. And so with the Ace of Pentacles reversed, I do see money continuing to be sort of a challenge and a struggle. So I would say it's just a good month to save for the future, and I don't want you to get discouraged. It's showing me that you will be able to weather whatever sort of challenges come your way. So we'll look at that more in February. For this month, focus on saving, focus on planning, and don't stay in a situation that doesn't feel good, unless, of course, you need to save up a little bit more, and then be very clear on how much you need to. For those of you that are looking more for, interesting this month, I'm not getting a lot for romance. I think it's because all signs are going through a retrograde period, but there is a potential for a Leo to come through. I did pull a strength card. And also, let me see if there's anything else. Page of Swords and air sign towards the beginning, but I'm seeing stress associated with that. Probably someone that's a little bit younger is that air sign. And with it being crossed by the 9 of Swords, I would dissuade you from going too far into that. I would give it time. I would take it slowly. And I would enjoy being more social, though. This is a month for those of you that are single to just engage in dating, social activities, not thinking about trying to start a relationship, more just enjoying company and allowing things to kind of flow naturally. For those that are already in a relationship, it's about spending a little bit more time, not letting that go with your partner. But I see it being mostly about work and finance, primarily what's coming through, and a big focus on saving for the future. So that would be my one message, is save for the future. And then, of course, start thinking about what you want to be doing maybe 6, 8, 9, 12 months from now. So start to project out as far as like long-term plans go. I hope that makes sense. Now let's take a look at your health card for January 2016 and see what comes through. So what I'm getting here is, because this is health related, paying attention to hydration, and also this is a good time to get a second opinion if you've been working with a particular doctor and wondering if you're on the right path as far as your overall body is going, if there's any changes, any surgeries that you want to be taking. I would say focus on getting more insight into that, paying attention to the details and getting a second opinion. So I don't like false promises when it comes to health. I would say this is a great time to pause. It's retrograde anyway. I wouldn't do anything massive until the following month, but great time for second opinions. I would say also focus on meeting your sort of like the core needs here. This is a desert card, so I would say hydration is really key. Make sure you're careful of what you're drinking, more water, less alcohol, less caffeine. And I want you to look at your overall sort of like vital stats, because it says survival. So I would say just make sure that if you haven't gotten a physical, this is a good month to get a physical and take everything into consideration. Just make sure that your like blood pressure, your overall weight, your eyes, whatever, just take a look at everything this month and make sure that the bare essentials are being taken care of and that you're not missing anything. And if you get advice to sort of make a major shift, get a second opinion. And if anything can be delayed, but don't do any. Of course, health issues pop up and you can't control retrograde. So just get that second opinion and then you'll know if you're on the right track. Okay, so now let's take a look at the wealth card for this month. This card wants to come out. So a lot of what I was talking about earlier was looking ahead, looking past the present, and also I would say even if you get some news that is challenging when it comes to finance and work, I want you to push through it and really know what you need to do and just don't let other people bully you or pull you off track. So perseverance is pretty self-explanatory there. Just push through and know that you have the power to do it. It really is mind over matter on this. Now let's take a look at your love card, which can be both relationships and just matters of like the heart, anything emotional. So what's ruling your emotions this month? So I want to give you a little bit of clarification. If you've been thinking of doing something, of going out on a limb and trying to maybe make a first date with somebody, or if you want to take a risk in your life, what it's showing here is that you already know if it's worth the trade-off. This also can be just generally speaking about your overall happiness. So I saw the death card coming through, and some of you may already know if it's worth fighting for this person in your life. And if you feel like it is, then by all means continue going down that path. And if not, then you know that it's difficult, but it's for the best to move in a different direction. So basically your own intuition is what you need to pay attention to on that. Finally, let's take a look at your destiny. And we have details, which I think I was talking about a little bit earlier, paying attention to the details, possibly needing a second opinion on some things. So for this is where I want you to pay attention to also warning signs around you when we're talking about opportunities, jobs, relationships. Look at the little details. They're going to be the big signals from the universe. Maybe you even want to think about that in your meditation, what it would require for you to sort of like connect with an aha moment, like this is what I'm looking for, show me this sign so that I know when I need to do this, or this. So I see, and it's interesting, if I turn this card upside down, you'll see the word clarity. And I was saying earlier that we also got a clarity card here. So I want you to pay attention, and that was a small detail. That's what's interesting on this. So I want you to look at the little details just like I did, and you're probably going to find a hidden gem somewhere that you're not expecting it. This card is also one about missing something. So for your destiny this month, what are you missing? I want you to pay very special attention, and I feel like for you, if we add 4, 5, 6, 7, so the 7th could be a day where some of that comes into fruition or into focus for you. So definitely keep an eye on that. And let's quickly review all the cards for this month. Again, your channeled information is to be the agent of change, to create that which you seek. If you need money, start thinking about ways to generate income. If you want more love in your life, think about activities that can help you meet people. And basically, you're going to have to create the opportunities to change. If you're missing something in a relationship, you're the one that's going to have to take the first step. In regards to your catalyst card, it really is about clarity and then being very clear on your belief and your vision of where you want to be headed. Then and only then can you sort of release it and start to manifest it. For your health, special attention to your hydration, also getting second opinions on major health changes or issues, and also just paying attention to your vital statistics, anything involving like blood pressure, blood chemistry, overall fitness, your eyes, your overall like weight and cholesterol, just all of those basic things that you should be paying attention to. I want you to get a check on those this month. Wealth, you need to keep working towards your goals and push through any disappointments and think past the current challenges. For wealth, health, wealth, love, for the love situation, what I want you to do is to realize that you already on a gut level understand what you need to do. So if you've had warning signs and think that it might be time to move on, it probably is. If you feel like you've been waiting long enough and want to commit to someone, it's probably a good time to do so. I would just try to work it around the retrograde cycle, so the very beginning or the very end of the month would be better than the middle. And then for your destiny card, paying attention to all the little details in contracts, details and signs in love situations, communication, even just looking around you, the surroundings, you're going to pick up on something that you've missed, which is one of the aspects of the 4 of Cups. We won't hide behind the fact that there will be a major change, and it's going to start this month, possibly end in the 3rd month of the year. I do see shifts involving finance or career, and I want you to be prepared for any surprises that could be coming down the road. This is also just a general warning that you want to take care of your health. That's why we've got the 4 of Pentacles coming through, and also paying attention to the details. If you change it now, then I see that you're going to be in a good place in the coming months, particularly summer. Love did not come through as much this month. In fact, for some of you, you may be sort of moving out of relationships. Interestingly enough, I did see possibly a Leo coming through for you, but otherwise it's more about you looking at your life and finding some focus, finding some warning signs, and taking action to course correct. So this is very much a month of you steering and moving in the right direction. That's why the periphery is the Chariot, okay? I hope this was helpful to you. As I said earlier, this is a general reading for the sign. If you ever need more specific information for you, I'm happy to do that, and you can follow the links at the end of the video. I'll put something in the upper corner here on how you can get in touch with me. Additionally, if you just want to know when the next reading's coming out, I encourage you to subscribe. You can also like me on Facebook or subscribe to my newsletter as well. I just also wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody again, and thank you so much for the support that you've offered over 2015. It's been a really great experience, and I appreciate all the support, the comments, and the likes. Keep them coming. All right, thanks, and have a great January.